I'm Patty, a jewelry designer here at Fire Mountain Gems and Beads, and we are about to create a fun and flirty braided amethyst ring that will be perfect whether you're making it for fun or adding a new bestseller to your jewelry lineup.
Get our email newsletter for beading news, sale announcements, new product announcements, and more. Link is in the description below.
These braided wire rings are so much fun to make. I actually went a little obsessive myself when I started doing it because it's so easy, it's so fun, and there's so much variety. We made a set of 5 for this piece, and we're going to be focusing on the amethyst one today, but I wanted to show you some of the other materials, other beads, and other styles that you can do with a braided wire ring. So this one here that we're looking at, the amethyst one is very standard. It's a very simple braided twist. It's got one size of gemstone bead all the way around, and that's what's really popular right now. And you can see the other rings here in the set are also all different gemstones. So you can stack them, wear them together, wear them separately. They're very versatile. It really kind of echoes the stacked bracelet trend that we've been seeing a long time, but in rings, so it's really fun. So let's look at some of the other styles. I'm gonna go ahead and move that one. So here's one that's really fun. It's got the same kind of braiding style. It's got the same little hook clasp in the back, but we've got regular gemstones. We've got a seed bead that matches, that gives it a little offset in color, and then a larger gemstone in the middle. So there's a nice variation that is not much different than the one we're going to make today. And then these are so much fun. I really wanted to show you this one is a double braided wire. So you have 2 wires that you're braiding with. And I alternated seed bead, gemstone, seed bead. And in the back, we have this really fun finish. It's just so pretty. And let me show you some of the materials that we're working with as well. There's so many choices in what you can use to make these with. So here are some of the materials and the rings that are around the set here. Here you can see we made this one in copper with a double braid. And this one's got that fun little flirty finish on the back. And you can use size 8 seed beads. You can use size 6 seed beads. You can use 3mm gemstones, 4mm gemstones, even 5s like these turquoise. There's a lot of option. It's really up to you as the wearer. What do you want to wear? What speaks to you? So let's take a look at the wire we're going to use in this braided ring, as that's a really important component. And there are certain kinds of wire that are going to be good for this and some that are not so good. So in this project with this amethyst ring that I'm making, we're using 20 gauge sterling silver dead soft wire, and we're using 24 gauge copper wire. This is a dead soft. It's kind of a standard for most of the wires you're going to find out there, and you can use pretty much any brand of 24. Now you could also use silver filled wire. You could use gold filled wire, even 14 karat gold if you really wanted to. You don't really want to use coated wires like colored wires because the ring touches your skin so much that will really kind of rub off the color, and you don't want that. You want your ring to last. So we're going to need 9 inches of the 20 gauge dead soft. And this is round wire. It works really well, though you could use square. And I'm going to pull off about 9 inches. I'm pretty good at eyeballing, but if you need a ruler, go ahead and get that out. And you want it to be fairly straight. I'll finger straighten the wire most of the time. And if it's not cooperating, if it's too curvy, you can always use your wire straighteners this way. And this is that flat nylon jaw plier. And it doesn't need to be perfect. You just don't want any lumps or bumps. Some little curves are fine. So there's about 9 inches or so. If in doubt, cut a little extra. So I'm going to cut it right about here and set that aside. And then we're going to need just a little bit less of the copper, about 8 inches. So I'll pull that off. The 24 gauge is really easy to finger straighten. Really is, works well with you. If it's super lumpy or bumpy, get it straight before you use it. Okay. And I'm going to cut that about there. And we're ready with our wire. The only other ingredient here is the beads. So let's grab those. And there we are. So got our amethyst beads. Those are 4mm. And the first thing I'm going to do is take my sterling silver wire and I'm going to middle it, which means grabbing the points and holding them together like this, because I want an equal kind of length, 180-degree angle here. So I'm just going to kind of push those together and kind of make a point at the end here and let those cross. And I just kind of let it cross almost all the way. So you have a little loop at the end and kind of equidistant tails here. And then I'm going to grab my nylon jaw pliers because they're not going to mar up the wire. They're going to leave it very pretty. And I'm just going to squeeze that tip closed. Notice how I'm holding this really tight right near the plier jaw. That keeps it kind of straight. And once it's all nice and flattened together and we've got that 180-degree angle in the wire, I'll grab that tip and I'll start straightening these wires out a little bit too. Make sure that they're pretty right. And finger straightening is a great way to go most of the time. And just manipulate it as you need to keep it straight and neat. Doesn't have to be perfect, but pretty straight is good. Okay. So I feel pretty good about that. We can continue on with it just like this. So when I'm making this little bend, I'm actually making the little hook in the back of the ring. If you can see, I'll take off that ring. There's a little hook that hooks on to a little loop on the other side. It's not really a clasp in the way that you would take it on and off your hand this way, but this is the way to finish it. So we have our little hook started here. I'm just going to grab a pair of chain nose pliers here and very gently, without marring the metal, I'm just going to flip that tip over and we have a hook. And I'll make it just a little bit closer. You want to be pretty close in, just enough for the loop to slide in later. Now that I have my hook ready, I'm going to go ahead and add my copper wire. So the copper wire is going to go down the center of the ring for the beads to thread onto. And it binds the ends together and makes a really nice contrast detail. So I'm going to kind of grab all three of those wires together. I want to leave just a little bit of a tail too to wrap the other side at the other end here. And then I'm going to start wrapping some nice tight wraps. And I want several of them. Once I've got about 3 wraps on this direction, I'm going to flip it over, grab the wire, and I'll make another wrap in this direction. And you want to end up on the hook side here because you want to cut it off on the hook side. On the other side, that will touch your skin. You don't want that. So let's go ahead and snip that off. And then I'm going to take my chain nose pliers, once I've scooted that up to where it needs to be right near the hook. And I'm going to squeeze that tail down really nice, give it a few good pressure squeezes, not enough to mar, but enough to hold it down. Then you're going to flip that around and hold the wrap and the hook. And you're going to grab these silver wires and you're going to bend them both outward to make kind of a V away from the hook. Then you'll grab the copper wire and just bring it to center. Now that's copper wire needs to be straightened just a little bit. So I will grab my nylon jaw pliers and straighten it just a bit. Being that it's a center wire, it's not going to show a lot, but we still want it to be good. Okay, so you should be starting off like this before you thread on your beads. Now I'm going to take my 4mm amethyst beads and I'm just going to thread one onto the copper wire. Grab one that wants to cooperate. There you are. And you let it fall into that V. Then you're going to braid around once and then pull that one around just like that. And so your bead is ending up between the wires. And the wire has to actually be, the copper wire has to be between the sterling ones for this to work. So make sure that your copper wire is ending up between the two sterling wires. And then just grab another bead. We'll grab another amethyst that wants to go. Who's next? That's you. Okay. And we'll let that fall down to that little valley there. And just the same direction. You're going to go around, around. And there we are. And you're just going to keep going like this until all 8 beads are on. Okay, we've got 7 beads on there. Let's do one more. Now, if you wanted this smaller, if you have a smaller finger, you can stop here. If you have a larger finger, you could add an extra. So we'll go ahead and get this last bead. There you go. We'll let that fall down to the valley, and then you're pulling tight every time and crossing the right wire over the top, crossing the left wire over the bottom so that copper wire stays in the middle. And there you have all of the beads strung on, and you can just manipulate the wire a little bit. If it's not quite right, you can just move it around, but it looks really good. I'm really happy with that. All right, how do we end this? What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my chain nose pliers and I will bring both of the wires up parallel so they meet in the middle. And so you have it like this. The next thing I'm going to do is take one of the wires and wrap it around the other one. It doesn't matter which one, but we're going to go around once, snugly, and then we're going to cut that one off where it ends there near that juncture. Just like that. And I'm going to snug that in really nicely. All right. And then I'm going to, just a couple of millimeters away, I'll probably actually just use the tip of my pliers as a guide. I'm just going to bend that wire out because we're going to make that little loop now. And we need a little space to wrap. I think that's a little bit too much. So I'll take a little bit of it. We don't want a lot of space to have to wrap around. Now that we have this nice 90-degree angle there, that's going to be the base of the loop for the opposite end of the ring. So I'm going to grab a round nose plier and just put it right in the valley there. And it doesn't need to be a very big loop, so not very far up on the barrel of the plier. Kind of like that. And I'm just going to push it around. And so I've made a partial loop, you can see that. And I'm going to put the plier barrel back in. Move that copper wire. And I'm just going to kind of finish the loop out and let the tail come out evenly. So you've got a loop like that with a tail. Now we're going to hide the end of this tail under some copper wire wraps. So I have to bring this tail down parallel and shorten it. So what I'm going to do is grab my chain nose pliers and I'm just going to grab the loop in the valley there, right at the juncture, and I'm going to push down that tail. So we end up with a loop, and we'll straighten that out a little bit. So you can see on the back side here. We've got the tails kind of parallel to each other. We want to make them a little more parallel, like that. And then I'm just going to cut this off. So we have just a little bit to wrap around. We don't want all this excess. And I'm just going to make sure the wires are nice and snug together there under the loop. And then we'll just take this copper wire and we're going to start wrapping right next to that silver wrap that we made already, nice and tight against it. And we're going to wrap until we get to that loop. And then find your hook side. Hook side, you're always going to cut your wire off on the hook side here. So we're going to cut the wire off on this side. And once you've cut your wire off, always grab your chain nose pliers and tuck in that tail and then finger test it. How does it feel? Does it hurt? Does it snag? No, we're good. If it doesn't, keep going until it's fixed. Now we have this straight line, but this isn't a ring. We want a ring like this. So this is a great tool to use. This is called a ring mandrel. And you can see how it has different numbers on it. Those are actually the size of rings. But we made this a specific size already, so we're just going to bend it around wherever it fits. So just put it against the mandrel and just bend it around. It gives you a perfectly nice round shape. And when you get to the end here, just push those ends against the mandrel. They don't have to go together yet. And then take it off and see how it looks. Okay, and you know what? I made this hook a little bit long and this ring is a little bit big. So here's a really cool learning opportunity. We can actually make this ring a bit smaller by changing that hook. Grab your round nose plier, put it in the hook and open it up just like that. And then get in there a little tighter and make that hook shorter like that. We want it just open enough to slip this loop into. You see that? We made that much shorter just by that little action. Now you're going to just bring the loop onto the hook. And that might take a little manipulation. If you need to, use your chain nose pliers just to bring that up and over and through that loop. And then we can always straighten it out. There we go. And there you have your beautiful braided wire ring. Isn't that pretty? So fun. So many different colors you can use, stones, seed beads, wires. It's really up to you. This was so fun. Now that you've seen how simple this technique can be, you're ready to go make your own braided wire rings. And if you do, be sure to tag us. We love to see your creation shine. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and sign up for our email newsletter. Links to that and to the materials in these rings you've seen today are in the description box below. See you next time.